Hello, my name is Sidby, so you can call me B, and welcome back to some more Winter's Wish. It feels like it's been forever. Or maybe it's just because a lot of things have happened. I don't know, but this is the first video I'm recording for my channel, not counting the stream. It's the first thing I've recorded since Helene. That whole thing was nuts, but I'm back now. Yay! Kiyoshiro, what? According to Tenichibo, it seems that he pursued this foolish endeavor as per that same person's suggestion. He also added that, in reality, he had wanted to improve himself before directly negotiating with Lord Yoshimune. Which means that person also helped investigate Tenichibo. I don't remember what we're talking about. So that means we should find that merchant or... Correct. A similar incident may occur again. The stakes have become really high. I wish I remembered what was going on. If fighting the Blightfall wasn't enough, now there were people capable of creating tools to control Oh, the Megatama. To control Blightfall, it all had the makings of another major incident. If someone like that was truly out there, then we had to do everything we could in order to find them. In any case, Soup did a great job on this mission. Huh? Me? But I was just watching during the final battle, and it wasn't much help. That's not true. The only reason we were able to deal the final blow to the Blightfall was because he found its weak point, remember? Besides, if you weren't here, we wouldn't have been able to get the information that made us look into this incident in the first place. Not to mention, you did a great job convincing Tenichibo in the end. Thanks to that, transporting him was a breeze. Ah, shite. Tomonari, Dojo. Everyone is saying this, so you should be confident in yourself. Without a doubt, you're a necessary asset to the Omniwaban. Yes, thank you very much. Before I knew it, my eyes were full of tears from everyone's kind words. When I first joined the Omniwaban, it was because I had been ordered to by the Shogun. There were people who needed me. I'd come all the way here telling myself that this was where I had to be. But through this case, I was reminded again that there was a side of myself who wanted to be with everyone, who wanted to help everyone. It wasn't because I was being forced to. It was because I myself wanted to be here. I'd like to formally say that I look forward to working with everyone. I'm gonna work even harder now from now on. Yeah, you get the gist. Good. We have high hope. Oh wait, good. Good. I have high hopes for you. I'm back! And here are the snacks! I had some trouble since they were hard to find. Wait, why is Soup crying? Huh? That was when Mimi came back with truly impeccable timing. When I wiped my eyes as she pointed it out, I really had been crying all this time. It seemed that the tears that welled up earlier had been pouring down my cheeks. Soup, what in the world happened? Tell me everything. Calm down, Mimi. This is... Is it my fault? Huh? What? What did you say? What do you mean, Kiyoshiro? She wants to beat his ass. Wait, Miharu. This isn't the captain's fault. Give us a break, Captain. Why are you making things more complicated than they already are? It's the truth. Depending on how you look at it, I guess. He was the first person to talk about that topic. She's gonna get the wrong idea. Hey, Tomonari, you're not helping. Oh, the CG. She's bonking his noggin. Or maybe just his shoulders. Making a move on her! That's really cute though. I'm gonna... Oh, I'll never forgive you for making a move on her. No, some shame. Shame on you!
Oh, why'd you hit me? That's your own fault, Captain.
Soup. There's gold dust on the snacks Lord Yoshimune gave us. Let's eat them together. Huh? Oh, alright. Place has become a pit of chaos. Mimi had started a one-sided argument with Kiyoshiro. Tojo was trying to mediate, I mean, not meditate. Tojo was trying to mediate, and Tominari couldn't care less. To tell the truth, I normally wouldn't feel comfortable in that kind of atmosphere, but... Komame! You're right, Komame. It's fun being with everyone. But being here, I was reminded again of the peace of mind that this place and these people gave me. We're in his room! Finally! Woo! We're in Kunitaka Tojo's route, guys. Yay! Woo, progress finally. Wow, it's as crowded as ever here. It was another lively day in the entertainment district. There were a ton of people out and about, and I could hear barkers beckoning to passerbys from nearby shops.
So, you'll get lost. Trying to get a gander at everything?
Oh, sorry. It's all so intriguing. I got a little too excited there. Need to be on the ball since I'm here for work today.
Ah, well, guess you can't help that everyone else's enthusiasm rubbed off on you a little bit.
Mm-hmm. And Soup's excitement is much cuter than his. Also, I'm here. I know this isn't my route, but I'm here. Tenichibo! What are you doing here? Whoa, that dango place looks delish. It must be pretty popular with a crowd like that. You're out of jail? Or wherever they put you? Hold up. That soba restaurant looks pretty good too. Alright, let's head to the dango sound after hitting up the soba place.
Simmer down. We're not here to eat today.
No, that's what you call being an Excuse me. Now that's what you call being being Anne. Why I keep on saying Anne? Now that's what you call being excited. Yeah, it certainly is. I reluctantly smiled as I watched Tenichibo enjoying himself in the entertainment district. After the Tenichibo case had been solved, the only Wabban conducted a large-scale search for whoever sold him the Blightfall summoning Megatama. Oh. They let Tenichibo out of his holding cell today so he can lead us to the shop where he bought it firsthand. So, Soup, what you been up to? I've been bored to tears living in jail. This sounds awful. Don't it? It's been a rough day. It's been rough day in, day out. I've been looking forward to seeing you. I wouldn't get a slap on the wrist if you oh so kindly had dinner with me, would I? Yikes. How do I even respond in a situation like this? As I stood there bewildered by the way he was coming on to me, Tenichibo started reaching for my shoulder. Just then, pap.
That's enough.
Step away. Tojo brushed Tenichibo's hand away before it could reach my shoulder, keeping him from putting his arm around me. Tominari stepped between us in almost perfect unison, creating some distance between Tenichibo and I. Thanks, guys. I wish I could have tactfully sidestepped him on my own, but unfortunately I didn't have much interpersonal experience. What's the problem, fellas? Can a guy have a little fun while he's outside for once? You can have a lot of fun picking up soap. Sounds like a great time. Tanichibo didn't seem happy that they kept him from touching me, but to my relief, he still sounded cheerful. I did feel bad he was languishing away in prison. Glad to see he's doing surprisingly well. He would have normally been sentenced to death by beheading in front of the jail gate for causing the whole incident. Since Tanichibo was a valuable witness in the Blythefall case, they hadn't decided his penalty just yet. Thus, he was treated better than the average criminal. Tanichibo's our only lead right now. Alright then. After psyching myself up, I looked at Tanichibo. Tanichibo, could you lead us to the shop where you obtained the Magatama? Let's eat later. Wait, you mean you'll let me get a bite to eat? Yeah, so let's finish what we came here to do with some time to spare. I couldn't afford to offend Tanichibo, so I promised that we'd take him out to eat later as motivation. I hope they don't mind that I said that. I glanced over at Tomonari and Tojo and saw they were keeping a careful eye on the situation, but didn't seem particularly opposed to my idea. Okay then, follow me. I'll show you where it is. Sounding much more gleeful than I expected, Tanichibo began to show us the way with a bounce in his step. But then... What's going on? What the... Should be right here. I don't see a shop here. There wasn't even an empty lot, much less a shop. Not even a trace of a tent ever being here. Pretty song. Did you take a wrong turn? No chance. Or at least I don't think so. There really was a shop here. Weird. But there isn't one. You're not seriously trying to trick us to slay in the game, are you? Of course not. What would I have to gain? I don't freaking know why the shop's gone. Can you describe who you bought it from then? They were young. No, wait. It was an elderly man? Or woman? Very descriptive, thank you very much. Damn, I can't remember. So the shop where you bought the Magatama doesn't exist, and you don't remember who you brought it from. You really expect us to believe that? At this rate, you're gonna get yourself tortured, you know? Threaten me all you want. If I don't know, I don't know. You won't get nothing out of me. But it ought to be around here somewhere. Damn it. Where'd it go? He sounds really confused. The threads around his neck aren't the color of someone who's lying either. Convenient. This was getting us nowhere, so we tried interviewing everyone in the area. Everyone we talked to claimed there had never been a shop there. It was hard to believe a shop had ever existed there by any stretch of the imagination. I gave up. Can we just say Tanichibo was tricked by some kind of fox and call it a day? Or maybe he's trying to throw the investigation by pretending he doesn't remember anything. But... Once I made sure Tanichibo was distracted, I spoke to Tojo and Tomonari in a hushed voice. It doesn't seem like he's lying, based on his threats. He really doesn't remember. Really? Well, if you say so. We'll keep your opinion in mind, Soup.
We can't say for certain right now, when there are still so many things that are unclear.
It's not my opinion. I'm just telling you that the threads don't say he's lying. Kunitaka Tojo. I agree. It was pointless asking Tanichibo things that he himself didn't know. I decided to change the subject for the time being. Tanichibo, how exactly did you summon the Blightfall? Ooh, ask all you want about that. Key to summoning the Blightfall is to hold the Megatama in your hand, hold it in your hand to give it a good squeeze. In your head, you ask what's inside the Megatama to lend you its power. Then it shows right up. Tanichibo's response was crystal clear, unlike before. Did the merchant who showed you the Megatama show you how? Yeah. What did they look like? What was their name?
Now listen. We're listening. You remember that you were taught, but not the person who taught it to you.
Definitely odd. You're lying, aren't you? I told you I really don't remember. I'm having a hard time jogging my memory. It's like my head's all foggy.
Doesn't make sense to me either.
I felt a bit bad for Tanichibo as I watched him hang his head. I think Tanichibo was telling the truth. When I said this, Tojo and Tominari looked at each other before letting out a small sigh. Perhaps he realized this meant we were done hounding him for now, because Tanichibo was suddenly all smiles. Oh yeah, I cooperated and told you everything I know, so feed me like you promised. Afterwards, we took Tanichibo out to eat, as he wished, and ended the day's investigation with nothing to show for it. I'll take Tanichibo back to jail.
Thanks a bunch.
Soup, come back and see me anytime. Catch you later. Thanks for all your help today. I watched with a slight smile as Tominari led Tanichibo away. All we did was go out to eat. We made zero progress on the investigation even though Tanichibo was the best lead we had. I have the rest of the afternoon off. Maybe I'll do one more round of interviews on my own.
Do you have any plans for the rest of the day, Soup?
While I stood there thinking to myself, Tojo began to talk beside me. Huh? No, nothing in particular.
Why don't you come with me to the temple school then? Kids will be there today. You'll exhaust yourself thinking about work all the time and make yourself less efficient at it too. It'll be a good change of pace for you. How about it?
That reminds me, I did promise to come again last time I was there. I don't want to inconvenience him by coming all the time though. After a lot of hesitation, I timidly asked him a question. Do you mind if I come?
Of course you can. The kids seem to like you. I'm sure they'll be thrilled that you came.
They did? It tickled me to hear him say that. Tojo could probably tell I felt down and was trying to cheer me back up. He's always looked out for me and he has the most human reactions of anyone in the Oniwaban. We also traveled to Edo together for 10 days. It might be the easiest one for me to talk to, come to think about it.
You coming with me to the school?
Sure. Touched by his thoughtfulness, I nodded and smiled. After walking for a while, we had arrived at the temple school not far from Tojo's house. Oh, it's a nice lady from before. It is! She came back! The children came running, filled with glee, when they noticed us. Hi, guys! Surrounded by children in the blink of an eye, I could tell I was welcome here. which filled me with joy. Are you teaching today? Ooh, you are? What are you gonna teach us? Huh? I looked over at Tojo for assistance, but he just grinned.
Wanna try teaching them soup? I usually teach them one-on-one, but you can lead the entire class just for today.
Absolutely not. I don't think there's anything a country bumpkin like me could teach the children of samurai.
No need to take it so seriously. We don't really have any rules here. Teach the kids something they don't know, not what they're supposed to be taught.
Something they don't know. Tojo said this jokingly, but he seemed to mean it.
They come here to take a breather from their lives too. Sometimes I make them toys that have nothing to do with learning. Just teach them something you know, and I'm sure it'll be beneficial to them. I'll be in the back listening if anything happens. I'll jump right in and give you a hand. So, wanna give it a try?
Strangely enough, I actually did feel like giving it a brief try when he asked me like that. The children were also staring at me expectantly, as if throwing their support behind the idea too. I won't get many opportunities like this, so here it goes. Got it. Sure, if you don't mind. Tojo smiled gleefully when I agreed to do it.
Great, appreciate it.
The children were also delighted, innocently jumping up and down all around me. Something about it was really embarrassing. Now then, I need to focus if I'm going to be teaching the kids. What kind of class should I teach? How to be self-sufficient. Maybe a class about being self-sufficient. The only thing I could really boast about was my many years of experience living on my own. Since the children here were all from influential samurai families, I knew for a fact that they never made their own rice. You never know what will happen in life. There's no harm in learning how to support yourself just in case. Alright then, today we're going to discuss how to be self-sufficient. Self-sufficient? Ooh, I know what that means. It means you can get everything you need to survive on your own. That's right. You know your stuff. But what do you mean get everything on your own? You just buy what you need at the store? You might think that because you live in Edo. But there may not be any stores if worse comes to worse. You'd be surprised how many regions don't have any. When you live somewhere like that, you have to grow your own crops and forage for vegetables and mushrooms in the mountains. As I continue explaining, the children expressed great interest in what I had to say. I glanced behind them and saw Tojo was also listening, seemingly impressed. It naturally made me rather talkative. Edible plants grow here in Edo too. Take cankerwort, for example, which you can find growing on the side of the road.
Cankerwort.
Another name for dandelions. Dandelions is way more pretty of a name than a cankerwort. Cankerwort, a flower you'd find just about anywhere. After their yellow flowers have blossomed, they form a downy white fluff and cast their seeds into the wind. You can eat every part of a cankerwort plant. The flower, stems, leaves, and the roots. Wow, really? I actually didn't know that. You can make salads with it, add it to soups. You can even dry the roots to make medicine. A milky white liquid comes out when you break the stalks, but no need to worry. It has no effect on the human body. The children's eyes were gleaming. I assumed this was because they just learned a new fact about a plant they were very familiar with. Please, I continue explaining which other mushrooms and plants were edible. What do you do when you want to eat fish? You go fishing. If you catch more than you can eat, you can use the extra fish to barter with others. I was absolutely terrible at fishing, so I primarily used traps to catch fish. In my case, I never had anyone to barter with either. Oh no, letting my thoughts wander reminded me of the past. Now I feel kind of sad. But when I looked down at the ground...
You're amazing, Soup.
Huh?
Your lesson was fascinating. I feel like I could live just about anywhere with you around. You might seem meek at the first glance, but you're actually pretty rugged. Really something.
Rugged? I'm really not that, The unexpected compliment made me feel bashful. Still, I couldn't be happier. Thanks to him, I managed to forget how sad I felt just now. With his help, I continued the lesson and pulled off being teacher for the day. The lesson also seemed to make the kids trust me because now they were more fond of me than ever before. They're so genuine and adorable. Kids are great. I thought to myself as I watched kids innocently having fun. Once class was finally over for the day, each child went back to their home. It was so quiet and still in the temple school. It was hard to believe how lively it had been from their squealing and laughter not long ago.
Sorry to make you clean up after them, too.
Don't worry. I'm doing this of my own accord. What would you like me to do with the desks, by the way?
Oh, could you wipe those down with a cloth and set them in the corner of the room?
Sure thing. I thought back on today's class while we cleaned up together. It wasn't perfect by any means, but teaching for the first time was a nice breath of fresh air. It was also soothing to experience how genuine and pure kids can be. Kids are great.
Aren't kids great?
Huh? It took me by surprise because he said exactly what I had just been thinking. Can you read people's minds?
No, although that would be a convenient power to have. I could just tell by the look on your face.
Oh. I gave my cheek a pinch. I had no idea the look on my face would give away my thoughts. All I've done up until this point is interpret other people's emotions. Guess I should try not to make mine obvious too.
What do you think of today, by the way? Was it a nice change of pace? Chance of pace?
Huh. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Kids' threads colors are so straightforward, and being around them really put me at ease. Feels so much better. She wants to be a mommy.
It's all that matters.
When I saw Tojo smile, I suddenly realized he'd been thinking of me when he asked me to step in. I'm sorry if I got the wrong idea, but were you worried about me because the investigation stalled and I haven't been able to think about anything besides the case? I stared at Tojo, waiting for him to respond.
Well, I'm not so sure about that.
He dodged my question. Knowing how considerate he was, I was pretty sure that's what had happened. In the end, Tojo's plan had been a success. Interacting with innocent children have taken a huge load off my mind. Tojo's a great guy. He's so kind and relatable. I was keenly aware of how fortunate I was to be on the same team as someone like him.
So, you did a fantastic job teaching today.
Thank you. You helped out quite a bit though. Tojo, I wouldn't have been able to do it on my own. I said that weird. Thank you. You helped out quite a bit though, Tojo. Thank you. You helped out quite a bit though, Tojo. I wouldn't have been able to do it on my own.
Don't be so modest. You did a lovely job teaching them all that on your first try.
Then he gave me a gentle pat on the shoulder as another way of saying it was a job well done. The warmth of his hand and the kind look in his eye made me even happier. It makes me really happy to hear you say that. Here's to next time.
Can't wait.
Yeah. Alright, time to give cleaning my all too. Later on, after Tojo's pep talk, I gave cleaning my undivided attention with more enthusiasm than before. Few days. Oh, we're back at that place. I forgot the lady's name. Few days after teaching a lesson at the temple school. Yeah, Chie, that's... Please help yourself, ladies. The treats I brought today are a tad special. My, are these from that famous shop everyone in Edo's been raving about recently? I hear they've become so popular through word of mouth that they sell out almost instantly. You have to line up first thing in the morning. Oh, look at her all dressed up. Wow, that's incredible. I sent a servant out first thing this morning to buy some for today's tea party. I want to try them for myself at least once. I was attending a tea party held by Mr. Tenba's wife, Chie, to gather intel as usual. Tojo and Tominari must be dripping with sweat while out on patrol. I feel bad that I'm the only one having delicious tea and snacks. Questioning Tanichibo had led to some progress in our investigation of the Blightfall summoning Magatama. No matter how hard they pressed him, however, Tanichibo stubbornly insisted on one thing. He didn't know. As such, all the Oniwaban could do was gather information while going out on our normal duties. I need to do the best I can to pick up some intel. I thought this to myself while popping a snack into my mouth. Oh wow! These are delicious! Without even thinking, I blurted out. I glanced over at Chie in a panic at how childish I'd just been. I'm glad you like it. There's still plenty, so have as many as you like. Thank you so much. Saved by Chie being so easygoing. These tea parties have become fairly informal since the Tanichibo case. Although we maintained basic etiquette, we enjoyed our tea in any which way we wanted. Today's tea party mostly consisted of the noblemen's wives idly gossiping. I was nodding along with a smile, listening intently because I wasn't sure what parts of the conversation might contain key intel when... Oh right, soup. Chie pulled me into the conversation like she'd just remembered something. The other ladies also turned their attention towards me. My son told me you were a teacher for a day at the temple school run by Tojo? My son told me you were the teacher for the day at the temple school run by Tojo. Wow. I didn't think about which families the kids were from, so the Tenba's son was there too. Yes, I was. I'm not sure I did a very good job though. My son was very pleased. He said you taught him some very interesting things. Tojo always does a great job instructing them. I'm very thankful that his school stoked my son's interest in learning where the domain school couldn't. Learning where the domain school wouldn't. Wouldn't. Is that right? Yes, Tojo is a very good teacher. My son always looks forward to school. And to think he gave me a compliment. The other ladies seemed very interested in their conversation. I've been hearing rumors about Tojo's temple school for a while. If it's that good, I'd love to send my son there too. Are there still openings? I'm not sure. I'll ask Tojo-san. Maybe I'll send my daughter there too when she's a little older. I'm sure he'll be delightful to know that you've all said about... I'm sure he'd be delighted to know what you've all said about his school. I was thrilled and somewhat proud that they held him in such high regard. Tojo's such a hard worker. He must already have his hands full as a samurai, and yet he's also hard at work running the temple school. Gentlemen like him are hard to come by. He's also quite handsome. Don't you agree? I wouldn't be surprised if he did have a secret admirer. It's odd that I haven't heard one bit of gossip about him. Hearing this startled me. A woman with a crush on Tojo. I suppose someone out there must. Although I never thought about it before. I mean, he is a wonderful guy. I haven't heard any talk of him having a fiancé. Either. Wonder what he has planned for the future. Do you happen to know, Sue? The future? I was hard-pressed for an answer since I never saw this topic coming. Did vessels like Tojo, who were only born to fight Blightfall, even experience love in the first place? Probably not, if his heart's been sealed away. Being made hyper-aware of it all over again made my heart ache, like it was being squeezed like that Magatama. You and Tojo would be a perfect match. I guess so. Wait, huh? What did she just say? You certainly make a great couple. You might want to get a move on sooner rather than later. Well... What does she mean by get a move on? And they think Tojo and I would be a good match? Despite how shocked and confused I felt, the conversation had begun to grow quite animated. He's earnest and a lovely personality, and is also a shogunate retainer, meaning your future would be in good hands. A trustworthy gentleman who will keep you close would be perfect for someone as gentle as you, Soup. I don't think he would ever cheat. He seems like the kind of man who would take good care of the woman he marries. He sure is a wonderful guy, but I don't know that I'm the one for him. Girl, you're on his route. Oh dear, we can't have you given up before you even started. We're rooting for you. Yes, let's have some confidence in yourself. The ladies held their fists in front of them, their eyes gleaming. Judging by the color of their threads, they're suggesting this out of curiosity and the goodness of their hearts. But I wasn't used to talking about this sort of thing, so I was at a loss for what to do. My heart's definitely skipped a beat or two around him, but I'd never thought about him that way. It's true though, something like that would normally happen. I felt a strange, ticklish sensation welling up inside me, probably from thinking about it. Aww. But then... I heard a blood-curdling shriek outside. What was that just now? The scream was immediately followed by a rumbling sound and a tremor that seemed like it might make the building collapse. Clearly something huge had happened. Do you think something dreadful might have happened? Like the Tanichibo case? The ladies looked outside nervously. What just happened? Guess I'll go check. I'll go see what's happening out there. Please wait here since it's dangerous. What? Absolutely not. You'll be in danger. I appreciate it, but I'll be fine. I'll just run away if necessary. I'll be right back. And with that, I dashed off out of the house without waiting for her to respond. I hurried over in the direction of the sound, only to be greeted by a shocking sight. A Blightfall was rampaging through the town in broad daylight. Wow.
Get hydrated.
I couldn't believe what I was seeing. No way. How can it be out in the middle of the day? Fortunately, there wasn't a single person around. It looked like everyone had fled as soon as the Blightfall appeared. I took cover so the Blightfall wouldn't spot me and kept tabs on the situation. Looks like the Blightfall still doesn't realize I'm here. With all the commotion, Tojo and the rest should be here any second. I'll just sit here and keep an eye on things until they arrived. I held my breath, while trying to soothe my racing heart, which was pounding wildly from nerves. Then I heard a faint sound of someone's hurried footsteps. It was coming from the mansion where the Blightfall seemed to have spawned. The very next second, the door flew open. Two people came running out in a hurry, the lady of the house and her servant. People were still trapped inside? The lady tumbled to the ground, having tripped over her own feet in her hurry to get away. The Blightfall heard the noise and turned its gaze to her. Oh no. I immediately ran from my hiding space and helped her back to her feet. Are you okay? A monster came out of nowhere and... Please, get out of here for now. That way, hurry. I handed the lady over to her servant, who was frozen with fear, and helped them escape. The Blightfall, meanwhile, hadn't moved a muscle. It was glaring at me, the only persons left standing there, and clearly viewed me as prey. This isn't good. I was so preoccupied with helping her that I didn't even think about what I'd do after. I wasn't strong enough to fight either. That said, there was no way I'd be able to run away when it already had me in its sights. In my extreme nervousness, I could feel a cold sweat run down my back. All of a sudden, the Blightfall charged towards me while letting out a battle cry. I need to get out of here. I knew this in my head, but it all happened so fast that my body wouldn't listen. It's no use. It's no use. The second this thought went through my mind. Hey, Kunitaka and Tojo. Soup! I realized Tojo was carrying me in his arms. Are you alright, Soup? Are you hurt? I'm fine. It dawned on me that Tojo had picked me up and jumped out of the way just in the nick of time. Tominari also came running over shortly afterwards. Stay back, Soup. The second those words left his lips, Tominari slashed at the Blightfall without a moment's pause. The Blightfall deafened itself from his attack with one of its feelers. Tojo put me down on the ground and immediately readied himself for battle so he could follow Tominari's lead. The rest went as you might expect. Slashy slashy, stabby stabby. As a team, the two of them mowed down one feeler after another, overpowering the Blightfall. Before long, the Blightfall's front was left defenseless, its mask exposed. Tominari swung its blade down without a second's delay. This one's surprisingly sturdy. Our attacks are working though. Keep hacking away. Hack and slash. Got it. Frightened by their onslaught, the Blightfall attempted to attack them one more time with its feelers, but there was no stopping the two's momentum. I watched the battle from a little ways away. Wow, they're so in sync. Guess it'll all work out after all. Meanwhile, one of Tominari's blows has stopped the Blightfall in its tracks for a brief second. Now, Kunitaka! You got it! This time it was Tojo answering Tominari's cry, swinging his sword at the Blightfall's mask. Take that! However... What the? To his surprise, the Blightfall evaporated like a mirage just short of him. Evaporated like a mirage, just short of him dealing the finishing blow. Why did it disappear like that? After checking that the Blightfall had vanished completely, Tojo and Tominari sheathed their swords. I recall seeing one vanish like that before. Yeah, that's exactly what happened when Tanichibo summoned the Blightfall. So there's another. I approached the two of them, wary of my surroundings. Great job, you two. And Tojo, thank you so much for rescuing me earlier when I was in danger. I'm just glad you're safe. Why were you even here, though? Well, I wasn't able to get away after helping the lady who lived in this house escape. There wasn't much else I could say since it was technically the truth, but I felt pathetic saying it out loud.
Helping others, were you? It does sound like something you would do, but we would have lost everything if you failed to escape.
You need to act with your own safety in mind from now on. Understand? You're not wrong. I was only saved this time because of Tojo and Tomonari intervened. I'll be more careful. Sorry for making you worry. After hearing me reflect on my actions, they both smiled kindly at me. I looked back at the spot where the Blightfall had vanished. If the Blightfall you just fought is the same as the one from the Tenichibo case, does that mean someone summoned it?
Not sure. Don't have enough info. Hard to deny the possibility after seeing it vanish the same exact way, though.
It wasn't nearly as big as the Blightfall from before, though. It was also quicker and lighter on its feet.
Yeah, either way, it feels very unnatural. Something's up here.
What really happened? It's making me kind of uneasy. A lukewarm wind blew through, as if it were trying to drive away the premonition in the pit of my stomach. Hopefully this episode's turning out decent, because I have no idea why. I'm having a kind of a hard time speaking. It just feels heavy to talk. Or like, my brain is not connected or something. It's hard to explain. Several days after, I'm very close to slurring my speech. Several days after a Blightfall appeared in Samurai Town in broad daylight, we discussed the current situation over at the Oniwaban base. The gathering included Kiyoshiro, Kuga, Yoichi, as well as Tojo, Tomonari, and myself for a total of 6 people. It seemed like there was a reason. The Castletown duo was here too, even though the incident occurred in Samurai Town. As you already know, the first Blightfall was only the beginning. Several days ago, another one made an appearance in Samurai Town. It's fairly unique compared to other Blightfall we've seen, in that it appeared in broad daylight.
We should have taken down the one that got away in the beginning.
What's done is done. More importantly, we need to focus on working out a plan. A tough ask. What are we going to do if they just vanish into thin air before we can land the finishing blow? Genjuro and I haven't actually fought one before. How do you take down a Blightfall like that? I also find it odd that they're only appearing in Samurai Town. Given the circumstances, it's clear someone is summoning them just like Tenichibo did. The fact that Samurai Town is the only area being targeted means there's a strong possibility the culprit has some kind of motive behind all this.
Most of the houses being targeted also belong to famous samurai families. Houses being destroyed are the least of their problems. Family members, even the daimos, are still inside. The mansions are under attack, gravely injured. Ugh. Houses being destroyed are the least of their problems. Family members, even the daimos, are still inside when the mansions are under attack and are gravely injured. So, if someone's controlling them, they hate rich people. Which base, I guess. I'm not saying you should hurt people, of course. It's probably only a matter of time before there are casualties. A few of the wives were so terrified they took their children and evacuated their homes. I can see that. Hard to sleep when you're worried your house might be next. Everyone's uneasy. Hopefully we can take care of this quickly. The fact that they spawn differently from other Blightfall we've seen before puts us at a distinct disadvantage. It's difficult to predict when they might appear, meaning the Oniwaban will sometimes be late getting there no matter what we do. That, and
multiple could appear in different places at the same time. This clearly isn't the handiwork of a lone wolf.
Multiple enemies. No idea where their motive is. At this point in the investigation, there are far too many unknowns. And to make matters worse, Samurai Town is in chaos because Blightfall has been spawning day and night. We need to take measures against this, and quick.
True. Regardless of what measures we take, we could use some additional manpower. That's why I've called you both in as backup. I don't have a choice since it's an order, so I'll help.
I'll do the best I can.
The Samurai Town in the state of emergency due to the concentration of Blightfall appearances there, Kuga and Yoichi came to assist as backup. Kinji and Hotaro, in addition to Miyagi, took turns watching over Castle Town while they were away from their post. That's what you call teamwork. I love that. I can feel the camaraderie. I thought back to when I lived entirely on my own and was overcome with gratitude for having teammates. It's very reassuring to know you'll be assisting us. Thank you both in advance for all your help. Yoichi promptly scowled when I offered him my thanks. Is it stuffy in here or what? What?
Yoichi, my apologies. We appreciate your help as well.
Kuga bowed his head politely after chiding Yoichi. It hadn't been like this since I first came to Edo. Almost kind of takes me back. I hadn't interacted with the other groups much since being assigned to Samurai Town, so it was honestly a breath of fresh air. He might have been a bit impolite, but I kind of like how lively it is around here. I quietly brought this thought up to Tojo, who was sitting next to me. He smiled with delight too.
True. We should be positive since we got some very trustworthy people here to help.
I've seen Tojo with a grave expression for quite a bit over the last few days. Probably because we let the first Blightfall get away. It was an unusual look for him. He seemed so much more cheerful when looking at Kuga though. I'm glad he cheered up a bit, I mean. As a vessel, he didn't really have those kind of ups and downs, but it did worry me to see him looking blue. In that case, I was really thankful for Yoichi and Kuga's assistance. I think I'm gonna stop it here. It's getting harder to speak. This is Collecting. See you next time. Bye.